Hey, you're doing it. Here we are, day 16 of these 40 days of stewardship. And I want to lead off today by asking a question. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. But let's say today your car broke down and it was going to cost you $600 to get it fixed. Would you be able to cover those expenses without borrowing any more money? Last week we talked about debt. This week we're going to talk about making a strategy for savings. How do you get ready for those days? Not if the car breaks down, but when the car breaks down. Maybe it's not even a repair bill or something that's coming up. Maybe just like the month of August is tough for you. The kids start back to school. You got this birthday that comes along in the month of August. You just know that there's several expensive things. Are you ready for August? What about vacation this summer? Can you go on vacation this summer without borrowing money or putting it on a credit card and doing that thing that we talked about when we were talking about debt, having to pay way more for vacation by sending your money to somebody who you didn't even take with you? How can we get ready for those kinds of expenses? It all comes by using our budget to build a strategy for savings. The Bible tells us that when it comes to building savings, that we could learn a good lesson from a little bitty creature. Consider the ants. Listen to what Proverbs chapter 6 says. It says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man." Three principles that we learn from that passage about having a strategy for savings. The first one is this: you got to have a plan. You have to make it your responsibility to build into your budget a strategy for savings. The ant doesn't have anybody that tells them, hey, you need to start saving some things up for the wintertime. The ant just takes responsibility to do it. That's on me and you. We've got to take ownership and have intentionality if we're going to have some money put back for those future expenses. Second principle is this: don't waste the harvest. Before budgeting, when it came to your paycheck, if you had a little more, you spent a little more. That's not a wise way to live. What we need to be doing now is, if we have a little more, we need to save a little more. It talks about in that passage how the ant uses one season to get ready for the next. Every day is not going to be the same. Every season is not going to be the same. If you look at your budget for the year, I guarantee you there's some parts of that budget, parts of the year, that are more expensive than others. So use one season to get ready for another. Third principle from that passage is this: when it comes to stewardship, not building up savings is lazy. It's dangerous. That passage in Proverbs 6 talks about how expenses can come upon you suddenly. And if you're not ready, those sudden expenses can swamp you. Man, they can ruin your goals and really put you behind. So here's our stewardship challenge for today. This is the action step I want you to think about, and we're going to build on this throughout the week. Now I want you to look at your budget and ask this question: do I have a strategy to build a little bit in savings? We're going to talk about it more tomorrow, but let's talk about just $1,000. Do you have $1,000 set aside in savings? I'm going to show you how you can build that and build it quickly tomorrow. So join me back then. But today, let's just look at that budget, start asking the question: where are some places that I can kind of make some sacrifice and start making a strategy for building savings?